everybody. Here to talk about guitars, instruments, amps, things like that. I get a lot of requests. People want to know stuff that we use in the studio, instruments that you use out playing live and whatnot. So I thought I'd do a little series with some of my favorite instruments. I thought I'd start with this one. This one I use in almost all my live streams. I use it in the studio almost exclusively for acoustic parts, and on a lot of these videos that I've been putting out lately are all on this guitar. This is a Martin D35, 1974. It's a beast, and I adore it. Probably 95% or more of the songs that I've written over time I've written on this guitar. I got it in the early 90s. I inherited it. I inherited it from my great uncle Bruce, my grandmother's brother, one of the few musicians on that side of the family. I have pictures of him from the 1930s in CCC camps, holding a guitar out in the fields where they're like logging and things like that. And this obviously wasn't holding this guitar. This guitar was made about 40 years later than that. But when he passed away, he willed it to me via my grandmother, and I still remember bringing it home. And I've been playing it ever since. I'd say probably, I think I could safely say, this is probably one of the more or most recorded guitars in northeastern Pennsylvania, because it's been in the studio. It's been put on so many sessions. Either me playing it or having someone else play it and put it on a part. Yeah, this is a well-oiled machine. My uncle Bruce, to give you a little background on him, he worked for the federal government. He worked in D.C. He was a veteran. He was a World War II veteran. He was at the Battle of the Bulge, and yeah, and I was very grateful for him to leave me this guitar, and it means a lot to me, and I play it all the time, giving me many songs. So to give you a couple characteristics of this, if you guys out there know Martins, this is a very rich sounding guitar. It's not an incredibly, it's not an incredibly bright guitar in the family of Martin. This one's a little darker today because the strings are pretty worn on this, but it's a real, lots of bottom end, very full, punchy sounding Martin. It works best on a recording when it can be kind of front and center, like you have a song that the acoustic is featured. Some acoustic guitars are better for recordings that you just kind of need that high-end jangle in the background, and it's just kind of like an overdub or it's something that's behind everything else. But this one is thick enough sounding that it works best when you can kind of take advantage of just that rich tone of this guitar. And its age too. It's like 50 years old here. What would that be? Yeah, 50 years old, 74. This guitar has no electronics in it. I never put any electronics in this guitar. It's strictly a writing and recording guitar. I never put anything in it to take it out and play it live, to speak of, other than live streams. And just kind of kept it in the studio. It's rarely in a case. To show you how rarely it's in the case, I have the Martin case for this one, and it still has the tags on it because I loaned it to the Badleys guitar player Jeff, that he put his acoustic guitar in it when we went to play in mainland China. So when that was in the early 90s, well, mid 90s. So like that's a long time ago. And the tags are still on it because it never leaves the house or the studio therefore. This one, probably one of the better recordings I've done to really get a good sense of this guitar would be like my solo album, Gentleman East, is like all this guitar, all like just kind of acoustic versions of things, acoustic versions of songs. You know, no band around them to speak of. A couple of the songs have a band around them, but this Martin D35 is all over that record, as it is all over hundreds of albums over time. But it's a beauty, and it's got a lot of personality. I'm not a person that owns a pile of guitars. I tend to buy them and get rid of them quickly if they don't work for me. And so the ones I do use get very worn, as you'll see as I feature other ones over the course of time. But they get very worn, and they kind of, I kind of meld into them, and you get really good at knowing, where they'll work best on the music you're coming up with, and that's that. This one, Martin D35, 1974, from my great uncle Bruce. I don't name my guitars, but maybe I should. Maybe I should name this Bruce. I don't know. But great instrument, love it. And if you've heard any of my music, you've heard this. So I'll be back with another one.